Yeah, hi.
Hi, Siddhant. So let's just, start right away with the interview. Tell me something about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Siddhant Makhija and I come from Noida. In school, I was a recipient of 100% tuition fee waiver for 4 years, and I also one among 10 students nationwide to have won a 3 week study come travel scholarship to Germany. After completing my higher secondary education in science with economics and physical education as additional subjects, I went on to pursue a mechanical engineering along with a minor in finance from BITS Goa, where I was in 1% of students to have graduated in 3.5 years. Conventional responsibility handed over to me by my parents to help out my younger brother with mathematics allowed me to value the importance of helping out others and also the overall joy that it brings to all parties. So when I was in college, I was a part of the student run NGO where I was presented by the opportunities to provide meal supplements to children of a government school, work on improving the health standards of a nearby village, and
Prepared
also to
these
help out
meals.
others. Sorry.
Prepared these meals. How did you procure these meals and how did you distribute them? How did you manage the supply chain?
Yeah, so we had coordinated with the company which was ready to provide meals as part of their CSR. So there was a school, government school nearby where there was already an ongoing meal supplement program, not a meal supplement program, but the one organized by the government where they provide certain kind of food once in a day. But from the feedback that we gathered from teachers and students, it was not something that was of a good enough quality. So along with that, we thought of providing either a yogurt or some kind of a fruit, depending on which day of the week it is. So we coordinated with the company, which was ready to provide us certain money as part of their CSR fund, which made it possible for us to run that initiative.
Okay, okay. So are you interested in social work, Siddhant?
Yeah, as I said, I really like the overall joy that it brings to me and also the person that I'm helping. So I have not been I had been a part of that NGO throughout my college life, but then when I started my professional journey, I couldn't find time to be a part of an NGO, but I do try to find opportunities where I can help people or also animals around me. So yeah.
Okay. So would you want to pursue a career in this?
No, I want to be in a position that I can help these people in whichever way I deem fit. But it's not something that I would want to pursue a career in per se.
Okay. And how does this experience, add value to you becoming an MBA?
So I have always like I have a few ideas, entrepreneurial ideas that I feel strongly about and would want to work on them once I've laid a strong educational foundation in management. So and my purpose is obviously to build a successful startup. My aim is obviously to build a successful startup, but also an organization which uh, helps give back to the society. So this overall social work that I've done so far has, as I said, has helped me to value the importance of helping out others and also the joy that it brings.
Okay,
So
but is your firm going to be, focused on social work or is it going to be about something else? What is the main business
so
idea?
yeah, so my business idea in my free time, I have been playing poker for many years now. So the idea which I have is a B2B concept wherein in the live poker industry, right? I feel that there's so much time inefficiency, because of which in a certain time frame, the number of hands that can be dealt are less as compared to what can be the case when my solution is implemented. So what I'll do is I'll allow casinos and the houses which conduct these live poker sessions to be able to have more number of hands within a time frame, which will uh, directly relate to the revenue that they are able to generate. So from that incremental revenue is what I plan to charge a percentage of. So
No.
that's basically the idea. And meaning to say that I'll help others is that obviously my primary aim will be to grow and build the core offering that we have. But then my CSR fund, which every company now has, will be a bigger proportion, because I do feel the need to give back to society. And also, like, it provides me the joy, which is not something that I'm forced to do, but I would like to do.
Okay. So I have two questions from this. First of all, tell me, CSR compulsory?
CSR?
Is CSR compulsory for a company? Or they do just do it of their
As per
own?
my knowledge, I think there's a percentage of profits that every company has to give. Every company of a particular size and above has to give, uh, like,
So
has to
that
allocate
percentage?
as part of the CSR fund.
What is
Sorry,
that percentage?
I do not know that percentage.
Okay. And the other question being, um, if you have such a detailed, idea already in place, because most of the people they have an idea, but they've not thought of the entire layout, but you have. So why don't you start a home right away?
I think being my idea being a B2B concept, will require me to have certain kind of credibility so that I can approach those big players of the industry with confidence, and also them to have confidence in me that whatever I'm saying and offering can be met successfully. And also there's a financial aspect involved to the idea which I have. So there's also a certain kind of doubt that'll revolve when I pitched my idea to the big players of the industry, as I mentioned. So I think MBA will help me to also learn how to learn about the best business administration practices, and also give me the credibility which will allow me to sell my idea better.
Okay. Okay. Are you aware of the specializations in MBA?
Aware of specializations? Yes, I am.
What are they?
Marketing, finance, operations. Then I think there's some colleges offer general management also as a specialization. But mainly there are three, namely marketing, finance, and operations.
Okay. So do you have a choice in mind of what specialization you're going to pursue?
I think I'll be in a better position to decide on that once I have completed a year of graduation. But because I want my skill set to be strong enough to take my idea to the highest possible level. But if you're to ask me right now, then I would probably go for finance, because I do have a certain kind of background in that, having done a minor in finance during my graduation. So this is, and also is something that I would like to learn more personally. Uh, so if you ask me now, I'll probably say finance, but I'll be in a better position to decide on that after a year of study.
Okay. So you said a minor in finance in graduation, right? What sort of subjects did you have?
Yeah. So I had so minor in finance was
Name two
granted
subjects that you
when
liked in your graduation from finance.
yeah. So I liked fundamentals of financial and accounting, which was probably the foundation course. It wasn't supposed to be specifically for the minor, but then if you have done, like everyone had to do that course, and then you had the choice of doing additional subjects if you want to gain a minor. So that is something, that is one course which like motivated me to learn other subjects of finance as well. So that is one, and the other being financial management, which I which to like the reason for me liking that course, one of the reasons for me liking that course is the teacher as well, uh, which I'll give credit to him for having us taught in a manner that it seemed very interesting and was something that I was looking forward to learn.
Okay. So tell me,
So these are
Siddharth,
the two
how does
subjects to
the
summarize: financial management and sorry, yeah.
so I'm asking, how does the balance sheet of a bank differ from that of any regular corporate? Just give me two crisp points, very crisp.
So the balance sheet of a bank would, I think, as compared to a corporate, will have a lesser uh, cash flow. Like they wouldn't have too much cash in hand as compared to a corporate, because most of their uh, assets are linked to loans, and they also have to keep a certain percentage aside in case those loans don't perform well. So yeah, the first thing which would differ is, I think, the working capital, and which is basically current assets minus current liabilities. And the other thing which I can think of is uh, I think inventory is something that uh, corporate will have more as compared to a bank. Inventory, I can't seem to relate any functioning of a bank which will involve inventory as such. So yeah.
Okay, Siddhant, because we'd already lost 15 minutes, so I'll just end the interview here. Really sorry
Yeah.
for the abrupt ending, all right?
No, no,
So
I was
just
late.
share
It's my
your
bad. Sorry.
feedback, okay? First of all, when you began your introduction, you spoke about your achievements right away. It makes you look boastful. Don't do that in the next time.
Correct.
Okay? Talk a little about your
Yeah.
academics, use timelines, tell what you've done. Okay, your graduation.
Okay.
I am not sure if you have work experience. If you have work experience, talk about that, and then come to your achievements. Add one or two hobbies also. Add poker as a hobby to your introduction. Okay.
Yeah. Like it wasn't the complete thing. Like how long should an introduction be? Mine is, I think, around 2.5 minutes. Will a panelist be interested to hear that much, or will he cut me off and I start asking questions?
This entirely depends on the panelist and the time of the day when you're interviewing. If you're interviewing towards the second half of the day, try to keep it short. If
But okay.
you're interviewing in the morning, you can take 2 minutes to introduce yourself. Try to include everything, but it should be in a flow and it should look coherent. Okay.
Correct. And because the point being that I had included this thing about my entrepreneurial idea at the end. But if a panelist cuts me before that, then I'll have to figure ways to include, like, make it a part of the interview, right?
Yes, you will.
So
That's always there. You never know what mood a panelist is sitting in.
correct, correct.
Have to be
But if it's in the later half of the day, I should keep it very crisp, so that
yes,
all of the major points can be covered very quickly,
yes,
and they have the choice to cut me whenever.
yes. Because morning they will take like half interview, half an hour for every interview. But towards the second of the day, they're left with more than 50 candidates and just a few hours to go. So they tend to keep the interviews very
Okay.
short.
So even in this year's interviews, they are taking half an hour interviews, is it?
Yes,
I have heard, from what I have heard, all the interviews lasted around 10 to 15 minutes, like between that period.
So that is usually, it is the, it is the typical time that interview happens.
Okay.
You talked about your scholarship in Germany. Again, it was part of the achievement. So it sounded like you just spoke your name and you started counting your achievements. It shouldn't look like that.
Okay.
Okay. And even though I know you have prepared an answer, which is a good thing that you've prepared an answer, but add some tonality and expressions to it. Okay. When you
Okay.
spoke about something giving you joy, it didn't seem like you were enjoying.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
your answers are also, a bit long. I think when you speak, it it is difficult to gauge when your answer is ending. It does not seem
Okay.
to have
Got
an
it.
end at all. So if you
Okay.
want, no, you can take 10 or 15 seconds to think about an answer, organize it in your mind, and then start speaking.
Got it.
Around this, that you
Got it.
break your answer into bullet points. You can say that, okay, I have two reasons for this. When you say that, the
And then
probability,
mention those two reasons, and that's all.
yeah, the probability of a panelist, listening to your 2 points increases when you all start your answer with such a, structure.
Correct. Correct.
It's more structured. Um, Timelines and the cards, I said. Okay. The part of something giving you joy, it got repetitive. I think you spoke it thrice during these 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't
Okay.
repeat yourself. CSR, it is 2% of the profit. Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
And it is for every, okay, that I'll anyway look into, but is it for every organization or for an organization of a particular
I
size?
think after a certain revenue only. After
Okay.
certain, but even I'm not sure as to how much revenue, but your professors might be sure and they might, ask you about it.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
CSR time and again in your answers. So read a little about it, the technicalities part as well.
Yeah.
How you mentioned, an MBA giving you credibility about starting your firm. Talk about the skill gap first. That there are going to be skills that you learn at your MBA. Name those skills. And say,
Yeah, I think I mentioned it later on. It should be the
yes,
first thing that I mentioned, and then it
do
can
that.
be followed by the level of credibility which it'll offer.
Because if you say credibility, it might look like that you're just doing an MBA to, gain access to networks. Although networking is very
Yeah,
important
correct.
part of any B school, still you start with your skill
Correct.
gap. It should look like that you're there to learn, okay, and not gain a certain status.
Yeah.
Hmm?
And is it better to choose a specialization or say that I'll decide on it post a year of
Are
studying?
you a fresher?
No, I have 1 year and 3 months of experience.
Okay, while it is okay to not choose a specialization, it will never go against you. But if you choose one, be thorough with it. I mean, I'm not sure when your next interviews do you, if you have enough time and you're saying that finance is the specialization you want to choose, read a few questions on finance. Also, because you had some subjects in your graduation, so that becomes important. I didn't have a lot of information on you, but those people might be sitting with your mark sheets. So they will pinpoint the
Yeah,
question.
correct.
They'll pinpoint the subject and they might ask questions. Okay. And
Hmm.
to be
Yeah,
on the safer side, just pick a subject from your graduation and read, the gist of it so that if they give you the option of choosing your favorite subject, you're able to come up with the subject and answer everything about it. Because
correct.
they are there to evaluate as basically two things. One is clarity of goal as to what you're going to do when you enter the B school. The other thing is knowing that you know what you've done in the past.
Okay, got it. So on like why MBA, in that I can safely mention entrepreneurship, or will that be a point as to why, as you also asked, why is it that you're not already pursuing that idea? And can it backfire or will it be okay?
Or you're aware of the technical aspects, but there is a lot of things that go on. There is operations, there is sales. Now sales is a skill in
Correct.
itself, and sales is
Yeah,
very
correct.
very specific to the industry also. A person who's in
Correct.
sales in an FMCG cannot be in sales in an IT company.
Correct.
There's sales, there's marketing, there's the financial aspect, there is accounting, there is the HR policy. You never mentioned HR as a specialization. If
Yeah.
if
Oh,
an
yeah.
economic
Correct.
is sitting across you, he will take offense on this, he or she.
Yeah. Correct. Correct.
Okay, so that is there. So you can mention things, there's a lot of gap that's there when you're just out from you're an engineer.
Yeah, I am.
You're just out from an engineering college and you want to do a business. There's a lot of gap. So you might
Got it. Got it.
talk about the skill gap. Okay, any more questions you have?
No, not really.
Okay, no problem. Okay, thank you, Siddhant, and all the best.
Thank you, Ayushi. Bye bye.